Hello, captains, pirates, and scurvy sailors from far and wide. My name is Captain Cash the Stampede. Now, when today's ship was added into the sandbox back in Season 1, I remember thinking to myself, okay, we got a support ship. That's cool, I guess. I mean, we did have support weapons and support furniture, but of all the ships I planned on making, none of them included being a floating clinic for half-dead pirates, even if the ship could heal any major damage it took passively. And don't get me wrong, I enjoy playing support classes. Managing boss fight mechanics and keeping yourself alive all while watching over the health of a half a dozen other people is not a skill that everyone has, but it is wildly satisfying if you can pull it off, in my humble opinion. But for me though, there has to be either fun healing mechanics, like the ones you see in games like Overwatch or even Exoprimal, or the healing just has to be really effective. Well, we were lucky enough to get a bit of both with this one, and as we fast forward to the end of Season 2, support captains are very much a thing in this game. They are wildly effective, and seem to be having a blast while doing it. And I salute each and every one of you support captains because you have been towing the line quite a bit during our world event. So today, same as always, we will take a quick glance at my build for my bark, a Siege Courageous, for the first part of the video, and then we will take a deeper dive after that. Alright, so the ship class again that we are looking at today is the Barque, a ship that excels at aiding other ships in danger by rendering effective repairs. The ship size is medium, the upgrade level this time around is only 3 of 6, the ship type is support. The flavor text reads, specialized in aiding friendly ships, the support excels in providing assists that can help turn the tide of battle. The perks we are working with are Revitalized, Deep Blue, and Mend. Revitalized restores 0.5 of severe damage and 0.5 of hull health per second, as well as for nearby friendly ships. Also restores 15% of stamina, 10% of severe damage, and 60% more hull health on a friendly ship while using a repair weapon. Deep Blue improves turning speed when traversing seas, and Mend, unlocked at level 6 of 6 for the Barque specifically, will increase the repair amount for weapons by 40% for ships with less than 33% of hull health. On our offensive weapons, we are using the bow, port, and starboard to fire off the Piqure 3, a name that I know I said exactly perfectly without any enunciation issues. On stern, we have the Faule Ilse, yet again another name I said flawlessly. On the auxiliary job, we have the Little Grace. This is a weapon you can heal yourself with, more on that in a moment. On defense, we are using the armor called Ouroboros. The armor does put us at 1100 armor. It has explosive mitigation of 20%, flooding mitigation of 30%, and fire mitigation of 30%. For our furniture, we are using the First Aid Station. We're using also the Long Gun Works 1, the Machinist Station I, Long Gun Grinder 1, and the Joinery Workshop I. And with that, we are done with a quick glance, and I want to thank those of you who will be heading out. Leave any questions that you have in the comment area if that's all you needed from the video at this point. But for those of you who want more details, you know, how to get some of these weapons, well, stick around because, of course, we got you covered. Now, starting back on offense, we will look at the bow, port, and starboard weapon, the Piqure 3. The flavor text reads that this is a malicious weapon wielded by La Peste's cronies. Fires tainted shells that drain crew stamina. These toxic gases also cannot be blocked by bracing. We are looking at damage at 4280, reload of 7.2 seconds, range of 1,000 meters. Gun ports, we have 2 on the bow, 3 on port and starboard, and a fire rate of 0.6 seconds. The perks we are working with this one are Toxic 3 and Piercing 3. With Toxic 3, hits from this weapon saps crew stamina, adds 20% damage that cannot be blocked by bracing. Piercing 3 adds 20% of damage as piercing damage increases damage to weak points by 75%. If you would like to get one of these, well, the easiest way was to earn them from the Season Pass for Season 2, but you can also get them from the Pest Strong boxes as a random roll, again in Season 2. But if it is Season 3 going forward, you will have to jump in the comments and ask me how to obtain these, because currently at the moment we are unaware of how that will happen. Moving on to the stern, we have the Faule Ilse. The flavor text reads, shrapnel fired from this weapon is designed to cause collateral damage. On impact, iron pieces ricochet to nearby targets, making this weapon adept against crowded fleets of ships. We have damage at 1404, reload at 3.5 seconds, a range of only 250 meters, but we do have 4 gun ports for this side. Fire rate is at 3.5 seconds. The perks we have here are Ricochet and Piercing 3. For Ricochet, it says that hits that land on a ship's hull or structure ricochet towards a nearby target, dealing 75% of the original damage. I actually like this perk quite a bit, and I believe it works very well as a rear firing weapon. Piercing 3 adds 30% of damage as piercing damage and increases damage to weak points by 100%. If you would like to obtain one of these, they can currently be purchased from the black market for 350 sovereigns for the remainder of Season 2, but going forward they may have to be randomly rolled from a chest you will also be able to purchase from the black market. We aren't entirely sure about that at this time, but that is kind of how some of the weapons are working currently, moving from season to season. But jump into the comments and leave a message if you are having a hard time finding this weapon. Next up, we have our auxiliary weapon, which is the Little Grace 2, and yes, you can heal yourself with this weapon, which is absolutely amazing. The flavor text reads, it launches repair buoys using a complex system of springs and gears. When deployed, repair buoys restore the integrity of damaged hulls and masts. We have repair happening at 1365 per shot. We have a reload of 20 seconds. Range is 400 meters, 1 gun port, and we have a fire rate of 20 seconds. It has only 1 perk, that is Repair 2. This gives greater restoration of hull health of a friendly ship. If you would like one of these, well, it can currently be earned from the Season 2 Season Pass, but after Season 2 ends, we are not sure how we will get more of the Little Grace. I am assuming, like some of these other weapons, it may be in a chest purchasable from the black market, but jump into the comment section if you are having trouble locating this weapon after Season 2. Moving on to defense, we have the Ouroboros armor. Flavor text reads, sewn together from the hide of Ouroboros, a sea monster fabled to possess powerful regenerative properties. Perks we are working with are Amalgamate and Restoration. Amalgamate gives us 15% damage being braced can be converted to restoring your health, but this only occurs after bracing ends. Restoration restores 100 of severe damage every second. Again, we're looking at armor at 1100, explosive mitigation of 20%, flooding at 30%, and fire at 30% as well. If you would like to obtain one of these armors, well, the blueprint can be purchased from the vendor at the Lenitra outpost in the Red Isles, but you have to buy it with monster teeth earned from hunting sea monsters. 54 total teeth are needed. You need 50 to buy the blueprint and then another 4 to craft the armor, along with 4 Zamaharibu scales. This is farmed from the second variant of the Ouroboros sea monster currently in the game. 2 rubber, 1 torsion spring, and 1 Gannett's saltpeter. And finally, for the furniture, we have the First Aid Station, which increases repair amount of repair weapons by 30% for ships with less than 33% health. How to obtain this one? Well, the blueprint can be purchased from the Sea People Merchant in Verona Falls in the Red Isles. Next, we have the Long Gun Works 1. This increases elemental damage multiplier of long guns by 19%. If you want one of these, the blueprint can be purchased from the Carpenter in St. Anne. We also have the Machinist Station I. This increases the area of operation for repair buoys by 25% and increases repair amount of buoys by 25%. If you want one of these, this can only be earned from the Season 2 Season Pass. After Season 2 ends, we are really not sure how to get another one of the Machinist Stations, but it could be a chest purchasable from the black market, kind of like what I've been mentioning earlier. But again, jump into the comment section if you're having trouble locating this weapon after Season 2. Next, we have the Long Gun Grinder 1. This increases projectile speed of the long gun by 15%. If you want one of these, the blueprint can be purchased from the carpenter in St. Anne. And finally, we have the Joinery Workshop I, which increases repair amount from repair weapons by 10%. This can also be purchased from the carpenter in St. Anne. Like I said at the top of the video, adding a support ship into my fleet was not the plan, even though I liked what I saw. I mean, look at it. It's just a snow that's been modified a bit and sails a little bit faster. And since I was already a snow main, I could easily see myself using the bark, but for what purpose? I already had my snow for fort attacks, and even though it wasn't in its current final form, it was still damn good at soaking up damage. And for attacking large groups of ships, I was slowly learning the joys of sailing in a Sambuc. Honestly, it wasn't until I just gave it a try that I just realized the huge potential of a ship that could heal every single thing around it, including itself. Not shown off in the video are legitimate health dealing weapons that you can add onto the bark if you don't like my approach with the healing buoys. There are healing long guns, healing bombards, and healing mortars you can use if you like, allowing for loadouts that allow you to focus solely on healing every ship you can reach. And going into Season 3 and beyond, I would not be surprised if we don't get things like healing torpedoes, healing rockets, and maybe even like healing crew attacks, who knows. But this thing is not a one-trick pony, so if you do want to turn it into a multi-purpose ship, you can. Your survivability will rock. You just may not be quite as effective as ships that are built for very specific purposes, but I mean, my multi-long gun setup is quite good if you ask me. But all I have to say is that the bark has become a cornerstone of many Skull and Bones fleets, and every pirate ship in the Indian Ocean is better for it. My name has been Cash the Stampede, folks. Thank you for coming.